I did some online research, and I had gone, I had checked out, Swift and CR England and all them other companies, and they didn't sound too good, and I had found FFE off of a website, and I decided to look into it a little bit, and at that point is when I read reviews from other employees, and it just sounded like a fantastic company. Just the fact that they don't kid around with their, I read reviews, and from the good side of employees as well, that their main concern for every single one of us is safety, and other companies don't emphasize it as much as I would say FFE does. So I have a family at home, so in a sense I need to make sure that I'm with a safe company as well that's going to treat me how I should be treated for a safety. Well, my son, he's only 3, so he didn't really understand, but my girlfriend, Deandra, she jumped on board with it. At first she was a little rough about it, but then, I explained to her the things like the potential for income and things like that, and it was at that point that she jumped on board, and she's just as happy as I am right now. Never with a semi, but I drove straight trucks for a little while, but yeah, as far as semi goes, no, this is it. Oh my, it's a huge difference. And that's been an obstacle of mine is treating the semi different than you would treat a car, and it is totally different. I mean, you see these truckers on the street, and they make everything look so easy. So you go into it thinking it's going to be easy, and it's not. It's actually a lot more intense and more difficult. More you have to pay attention to when you drive a vehicle of that size. Yeah, I mean, I miss home. I mean, this Texas weather is a lot more humid, but I do miss home. I miss my family, but at the same time, I got to do something. Got to move forward. Exactly. My favorite part actually is the instructors, because they are rough on you, but at the same time, all the instructors are laughing, joking, messing with each other, messing with their students, and it's actually been a really nice experience. It's a lot different from what I expected. Like I said, I was expecting truck driving to be easy. I expected turning a truck not to be that difficult. It is actually, not difficult, but it is something that is so different than a standard, vehicle. The hardest thing to get so far has been the turning and scanning my area, because you got to scan so far in front of you, and you have to start evaluating things before you even come to an intersection. 15 seconds before you're at that intersection, you got to be evaluating, if there's going to be cars in your way, if you're going to be able to make a turn, if someone's going to be blocking your path, if you pull all the way up to the intersection, is there another truck that's going to be able to make his turn, and your signs and things like that. So that has been the hardest thing, is making sure I focus. Instead of just in front of my wheel, I need to focus on a lot in front of me. Well, I have an uncle of mine. He was never a truck driver, but he drove cross-country. My dad drove cross-country for a while. And they talked to me about different cities and things like that. And then I had started driving the straight trucks as well. And I liked the feeling of being in a huge vehicle. It just kind of opened some doors, and I started thinking, I was like, you know what, maybe truck driving is an industry I should consider. Well, my goal has always been to be able to find a company where I can, obviously every company you go to, you're going to start out, the smaller, lower spectrum people or lower end people, but my goal has always been to find a company that I can excel in the abilities that I have, as well as, grow as an employee and open some doors to, more things, in the future. And so my ultimate goal would be to, be a safe driver long term, and either be doing something over the road, LTL, or even, if the opportunity came, to do local. Yeah, as far as FFE goes, they tell you right out the door that, there is definitely room to excel here, and being something like an over-the-road driver, I'll get to see the country, and they explain so much to you just in the first day, and then, you pretty much know the first day whether or not you're going to want to be in this industry or not. As far as FFE goes, they're right on dot. I mean, like I said, their number one emphasis here is safety, and so they really push that safety into your head, and that's something that you got to really do in this line of industry. Is something that you really need to practice.